Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey,
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for having us.
It was awesome seeing you guys at a Solid Sound. It was funny. I was just watching the new Woodstock documentary. Have you guys watched that?
No,
I haven't yet, no.
It's fucking crazy. It's wicked good, but it's like the exact opposite of Solid Sound, and that's why I love Solid Sound. It's just like the best chill, relax festival.
Yeah, it has like a really good vibe, like just super laid back. It's nice.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like you guys were probably my favorite performance of the festival. Like for real, like I love it. And I've been listening to your music nonstop since.
Oh,
But you were so like it's cool you're going on tour with them now. Like you were so nervous, I feel. You were like, "Oh, thank you guys for coming." Like
yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a shock. Like, we're pretty stoked. I mean, like, obviously super stoked to be doing that. Like, yeah.
but you didn't think it was gonna go well? Like you guys were, I don't know. It seemed like you were nervous for like the midnight spot.
No, I mean, like, I I think we're just, I mean, it's late, you know? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like if it was me, I would maybe not stay that late
Right.
because I'm like, go to bed at 9 o'clock. So it was more like stoked that people stayed because I don't know if I personally would have stayed because I'm so sleepy all the time, you
Right.
know?
No, I'm the exact same way. That's why like I have to work late, but on days where I don't have anything, I'll just like I'll just stay in. Like I just need to stay in because I'm always performing late and shit.
Totally,
Right.
totally.
How did you guys get linked up like with Solid Sound, I guess, first?
Um, so I play in another band and she's friends with like the Wilco crew. And I think slightly having to do with that. And then um, the person who owns Drag City, runs Drag City, is friends with Jeff. So I think that he sent our new record to Jeff and just kind of happened from there.
Yeah, but he probably gets sent a lot of music. Like there's something special about you guys, especially like now I see you perform and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it's probably. I mean, hopefully, it's a combination of connecting a bunch of dots and also hopefully our music is good or something.
So how long have you guys like known each other?
Long time.
Yeah, since we're like kids, we've been friends.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like
We've known each
9
other.
or 10?
Yeah, we were like 10 or something when we first met.
Yeah.
How'd you meet?
Well,
We went to like the same music school.
yeah, we did. I mean, yeah, we did like one of those after school music programs, and we were, I guess yeah, we both just started. Sorry, also.
No problem.
Here, our dog is over here, Bongo.
We can have the third guest on the podcast.
Yeah, we all know Bongo.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Looks like Scooby Doo.
Yeah, she's a little Scooby-Doo.
Scooby. But yeah, so we like were playing music together basically like when we first met, and then we just like growing up in the Bay Area, we went to high school together, and we've been like friends ever since. So yeah.
Do you believe in sorry, it's so cute. That's why I have a dog too. I have a black lab and she's like the same way. I love her, but I can't have her around my she'll just like try to jump up on top of me and start cuddling me during the podcast.
That's
She's
her
done
vibe
that
as well.
But the reason I ask is like, all right, so you guys have known each other a long ass time. You stuck together. Do you ever read The Alchemist?
No.
It's like omens and shit, like how things kind of lead you and you follow it the same way. I didn't know if you had like a relation, like it's cool that you guys stuck together, but that means there's something special, especially like how long you stuck with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that too.
Yeah,
Do you
and
believe
also,
in any weird thing that brought you guys together? You're just like, oh, it's chance and it worked out.
I mean, I don't know, like we've just been friends for so long, and also like kind of we haven't really been able to do the band fully until like recently. Like we started in high school, but like he went to college, and then like, you know, just kind of back and forth, we both ended up like not being as available. So we kind of haven't really been able to do the band properly until somewhat recently. Like, you know, we released the last record in 2019, and then the pandemic happened, so it's kind of like the time we would have been available to kind of go for it, pandemic. And then so part of it, I think, well, also we're just like really good friends, but like we kind of have been like waiting and waiting to do this project, you know, so it feels like kind of been able to stick with it for a long time because we've just kind of ebbed and flowed a bit, you know?
Yeah. What brought you guys back together for it to like finally work out now?
I don't know.
You mean like right now? Like what kind of brought
Well, like when you said like it didn't work out for a long time, that you could have like a band fully, like what changed?
Well, I mean, I think we both wanted it to be happening,
Yeah.
but just like circumstances, it couldn't, you know? Like we were never like in the same city, and then like
Yeah, like sorry, just to interject.
Yeah.
We kept it. I mean, we've been at it as much as we can, sort of, for the past however many years, you know. But it's just, yeah, like literal like time constraints where like either of us are away doing other things, and then yeah, like Dylan said, the pandemic happened. So
and yeah, we both moved to LA like right before the pandemic, and we're like, oh cool, we're finally in the same city and we can like do this, and then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's now that the pandemic is kind of like, I mean, it's not done, of course, but like now that things are coming back again and opening up, you know, like same, it's kind of like created what feels like a clear path, I think, for us to kind of do this thing, you know.
Yeah, and so, the pandemic kind of allowed us to make music, like so we recorded like Mint Chip over the pandemic, so it was nice to be able to like take that time and do that.
I feel like it's funny, I was just talking, do you know the band Chastity Belt?
Yeah.
So I just had Julia on like 2 days ago, and she was saying she moved to LA right before the pandemic too. It's just funny hearing you say that, and then she had to move back to Seattle.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people who moved like here right before the pandemic, and it's kind of like, you know, like
yeah. And then you have to be able to adapt. Like I feel like there's two different types of people who like use the pandemic to just like give up, kinda, or use it to really build something.
Right.
Yeah, or a mix of both, dude. I feel like I did both at the same time. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm at right now, is like I pushed wicked hard over the pandemic, but now things are like opening up, and the time I had off, I'm out doing stuff. And so like I just feel like I'm not taking care of myself as well, because I'm just like tired. I'm burnt out.
Right.
I mean, I feel like so many people feel like that, and like both of us were working during the pandemic, and like I know a lot of people were working and didn't get the time off thing, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of feels like you're still trying to catch up. In a way, you know?
Yeah. Is it hard to then like, I guess, go play shows and make music while you're then also working like a full time?
I mean, you kind of figure it out. I think it makes you feel more grateful to be able to do that.
It totally does.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. It's a weird though. Yeah, it's a weird like moment. I feel like transitioning to trying to do like music full time. You know what I mean? But still needed to make money, like or whatever, or make like a more consistent.
Yeah, that's the like hardest thing. Like the first step is like getting the fan base, and then I feel like the harder step is then like building a business off of it.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
Ideally, if we can tour a lot or all the time, you know, then I've got an excuse not to have a, you know, a job at like a restaurant or something.
Exactly. And that's, I mean, that's the goal. Like, but it's hard because you do have to build it like a business. Like you have to kind of almost take the art away from it to make money from it, which is, I think, where I'm at right now. And it's such like a hard
Yeah.
choice of selling your soul, you know?
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I feel like for us at least, like we're still in like a pocket where like we're just stoked to kind of do like anything, you
Yeah.
know, and like it's like fortunately worked out to where like we've been, I mean, like okay after playing a bunch of shows, you know, so like it feels like a good balance of like, I don't know, we did so much like I don't know, like DIY stuff, and at this point it feels nice. It feels like we paid our dues and we can like, you know, play some shows where like make a little bit of money and you're like stoked that that even happened, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think like kept you guys together? Like, I mean, on like I I don't know how energy spiritually you guys get, but like, what do you think kept you guys together all this time to then have it work out? And like, you put the hours in, years in, and it's like, oh shit, it's starting to pay off.
I don't know. I mean, we've been like best friends for like a long time, you know?
Yeah, it just feels like one of these things that's kind of worked out, happened the way it has, and here we are today.
And you guys make a very specific type of music that probably you didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. I feel like the way we make music together is definitely different than like, well, at least, you know, speaking from personal experience, the way I make music with anyone else, you know.
Same.
So it's, yeah, it's, you know, yeah, it's cool. I think it is another thing that like, and maybe this is what kept us together as friends all this time too, was like you know, liking the same type of music and wanting to hear the same type of music in the world, or some, you know, some variation of that, you know.
Yeah.
And like, it feels like exciting to
Yeah.
like make music together. I think like that definitely has helped a lot, at least for me. Like writing together feels exciting, and it's hard to have that with people in my experience, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not all, I mean, I haven't like wrote music with a bunch of different people, but like, you know, it does feel exciting making music together.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I'm a comedian, so my shit's all on me. Like to find my muse, I have to do it myself. You know, like I have to. So I is it hard to like? How do you guys? What's your process together? Like, how do you find your muse as a team?
Muse as a team, huh? I don't know. I mean, like, it's a
Yeah, I
hard
don't know.
question.
It's, yeah.
I guess, like, I feel like,
I feel like that's another one where it's kind of like it just works somehow, you know? Like
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, I mean, I guess we could break it down like, you know, exactly how it happens, but like it's not, isn't, we were never like, oh, like this would be a really like good idea for us to make music together, like this, you know, you know, we both like, we just kind of started doing it, you know, and then didn't, I guess, feel like didn't think about it that much, and then like felt that it was like good and was working, and then we like kind of kept doing it, maybe, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like when we're writing music or whatever, we might be like, oh, it would be cool to make like a slap happy esque
Yeah.
song or something. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I want to write a song and pretend that we're like, whatever, Mayo Thompson. But like, it's not it's not like, I don't know, like, it's almost like for me, like interpreting things that I like and trying to like hear it in my head, and then like we, or whatever, not always, but like if we're writing music, it's like maybe you hear something in your head and I hear something in my head, and we'll like kind of see if it works together. And build off that and pretend that we're Mayo Thompson or something.
See, that seems so like hard for me to understand. So the reason I have a podcast and because I'm a comedian is because I'm very analytical. I have to overthink everything and be like, why the fuck is that? But the reason I listen to music is because it's very just flow and conscious. And that's why it's like I try to figure out, I guess, like how the mind of someone who just goes with the flow is, because I can't do that. Like I just overthink everything.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can do it two ways too. You don't have to go with the flow necessarily, you know. You can
Yeah.
like, you can totally like think about what you're doing, and I think we do too. You know, like it's yeah, like we definitely like edit our music and stuff. You know.
Like, yeah, I think also especially like the more that we get older and like learn more about music, it becomes easier to like, I don't know, edit stuff and like build on that like technically and have it still be like sounding fun or whatever, you know? That
Yeah.
makes sense. Like you kind of just make stuff work for you in a way. Like I don't know if that makes sense. It's hard to explain, you know?
No, it totally makes sense. And I hope you don't mind me like overly asking the questions, but I hope like people listening, I like people to see like the mindset of people who are creative because everyone has their own way. But it like what is your process for making a song? Because I'm very intrigued with your music, like how it comes together.
I mean, it's definitely like changed over the years. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like with Good Boy, like we were still living. I mean, you were like part time in SF,
Yeah.
and we were like writing at his parents' house when he would be home, and then like so whatever, like it would be like more like guitar and drums, and starting with that, and then like for Mint Chip, we just like demoed a bunch of stuff in Cole's house, but like there's no drums here. So the drums were kind of like the last thing we recorded, which I think made it cool to like layer these things and like have them be like playful together and having the opportunity to like take time with that and like not it's not as like linear in a way like okay just guitar and drums and I feel like the difference between these two records is pretty like apparent in that way where there's like all these different layers and stuff and then like getting to like sit drums on top is kind of like an afterthought. It was where I feel like I personally felt more able to like be creative because it wasn't based off the drums like the drums are based off everything else, you know. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I feel like there's less songs with drums as the core, which I liked a lot, you know. Um,
As a drummer. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like drums are so loud.
that's so funny.
I
Because
like
I
can't
feel like
without headphones anymore. I'm just like, oh, it's too loud.
really,
Yeah.
do you want to get to a point where you're just not playing?
No, definitely not. No, I
Phil
definitely want
Collins, that shit.
no, I definitely want to play drums forever. It's just like I think I just don't want to be like the loudest thing. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that, but I also want to hear like what's your take on the process too, and then I'll try to remember.
No, it's funny. Like it's funny. Like yeah. I don't know. It's funny hearing. I don't know. Hearing like Dylan's take on it. Because I definitely agree. But then, um, yeah, the whole like not starting with drums thing. You know, like and being like not like totally. You're right. The album does kind of sound like that. Um, but you know, also, obviously the drums are still an essential part. But it's you know, it's it was a lot more of like experimenting with like the percussion of the piano and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think like one thing we always do too is like we stack stuff. We just like stack parts a lot, you know, and it's like it's one of these things that feels kind of like. Sorry, did you cut? I don't know if it cut out just
Oh
now.
no, I'm listening. Sorry. I just I might have been too still.
Not you, it's me. Uh it's anyway, so we stack stuff a lot. So like we'll start off with an idea and then we'll kind of be like, okay, let's find another part to go after that, and then let's put like a bass part on top of that, and then okay, let's put a piano part on top of that. So it's almost like, you know, like have you ever heard that song Sea of Love?
Bye.
I forget who did the original version, but like a bunch of people have covered it. Like I think like Cat Power covered it, and
Okay,
like
yeah. I actually, yes.
and like okay, I don't know. Anyways, the original is the best one. It's like kind of like doo-woppy, but like, dude, if you listen to that song, like it just feels like one chord. It didn't feel like they're like, let's create this like beautiful song from start to finish. It just feels like one chord comes after the next, and like the next part is almost like random, you know, like everything feels like almost just like really like simple and to the point, and I guess not random, but like it's just very like, here's the part and now it's over. I don't know. Or just like, okay, what sounds cool after that? Let's just put that in there. Okay, bridge part sounds like this, you know. And I feel like that's kind of like, I might be being a little long-winded here, but like that's kind of, I feel like how we work is sometimes we're just like, what would sound cool after this, you know.
And finding a way to not make it sound like super linear though.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
like,
Yeah, not super
not like
linear. I think that helps it. Yeah, not sound like, you
stark or
know.
whatever.
Yeah. The other thing I will say too is like I like working with you, Dylan, because Dylan like definitely says like no to something. You know what I mean? Like we'll be like what about this, and you'll just be like no.
Support for Bucked Up is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Let me say, they sent me the Precision package, and life is so much better with aerodynamic balls. It includes the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, the Lawnmower 4.0 Trimmer, the Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer, the Crop Reviver Toner, the Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code BUCKEDUP at manscaped.com. That's right, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code BUCKEDUP at manscaped.com. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 4,000 watt LED spotlight that you need for a more precise shave. Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on your bathroom floor. Get 20% off and free worldwide shipping on manscaped.com when you use code BUCKEDUP. Again, that's 20% off and free worldwide shipping when you use code BUCKEDUP. Let's get back into it.
It's actually like really fuck with because I feel like that's the other thing that like when you're in a band or playing with other people, it's always like all ideas are good and like let's, you know, and like yeah, let's mess around with that for a while and let's do that, and it's like I think that's cool too, but like in this band at least, like I like that we, you know, we kind of like, no, it's not quite right, or we can, you know,
Yeah, and that's why I was asking so much about like how you guys met and why you guys were friends, because that's probably why. Like if you're just in a band with someone, you're gonna be like, I don't want to piss them off. But like with your friend,
Yeah.
you piss your friend off so quick. Like you know what I mean? Like you could say no to a friend like that.
Piss each other off from time to time.
But it's also cool because we like that definitely happens. But like
No, I don't mean to say piss off in a me, but I just mean like say no. Like
no, I mean yeah,
No,
pissed
exactly.
off.
But also,
But like we can be mad at each other and then like get over it in
Yeah.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know? It's like almost like sibling vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah. And that's
It's
why it
true.
probably works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I didn't
Do
really
you
think of that.
create like like I don't know anything about music theory. Like I just come in as a fan. So like when I like a song, I'm like, oh, I like this, the like energy of the song or like the lyrics, how you portray it. Like, do you create that? Like you were saying, I forget who you said, but like you wanted to be like, oh, Mayo.
Oh, man, Thompson.
Or like before a song, like do you do that for every song? You like create, I don't know, like a backstory for it?
I don't think so. I don't think for every song. I know like there's a song that's not out yet, which I don't even think you know this, but I was like, we recorded the for Why's Okay.
Uh-huh.
We recorded like the guitar and like the piano stuff, and I was like working delivering flowers, and I was trying to like come up with lyrics, and I was like driving around pretending like I was Mayo Thompson, and like I was like, what would Mayo Thompson say here, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
So like all the lyrics were like me pretending to be Mayo Thompson, you know?
Yeah.
That's
So I don't
funny.
think that happens for every song, but like definitely, definitely like some of them, you know,
Yeah.
or like we'll feel inspired by something. It might not have like a backstory, but like I know we both really like Slap Happy,
Yeah.
and I'm like obsessed with Anthony,
Anthony
Moore. So having like I mean, I don't know. Yeah, just pulling inspiration, but not necessarily having like a whole backstory and stuff. And
That's wild that you say that because this is like I'm a stoner. I ask stoner questions sometimes. Like I always love to ask like, "Ooh, where do ideas come from?" You know, like where do you think your thoughts come from? And I've never heard someone say it like, "Oh, I put my mind state in someone else and then the idea came from that," which I think is super interesting and I also think is like I don't know. I really like that idea because I've never heard that before, but I also agree with it. Like I used to write plays and I would do that. I would pretend to be like I would have to put myself in like I would have to I couldn't be myself writing that.
Yeah.
right, that makes sense totally. Yeah,
I think it puts too much pressure on yourself sometimes when you do that, you know, and then you end up getting like writer's block, or just the age old argument that like art needs boundaries or something, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or like a a prompt or a topic or something, you know. If you're
Yeah.
like free balling it in the creative world, sometimes it can be hard. But if you have like a thing to focus on,
yeah.
it can inspire, you know.
I think especially if you're having a hard time figuring something out. Yeah, like I definitely can get hard on myself if I can't like come up with something right away. So I think pretending to be someone else is maybe easier.
No, because it's like I asked, like, how do you find your muse? But that's a great way to like find your muse when you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'll put on this sound I don't know, people like I'll put on stand up to try to like jumpstart myself into writing it. Like if I can't, I have to like listen to someone else doing it to be able to like get the flow back.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Dude, yeah. I'll listen to stand up comedy sometimes to get in the flow, to like get to be better at music.
Do you
know?
have specifics you like? It's no problem if you just like watch, but like who do you like?
Me personally, I like Bill Hicks.
Okay.
Yeah, that dude that dude is funny.
Yeah, and it's like he's not trying to like be like a joke machine.
Yeah, he's such a performer too, you know, like especially towards like the end of his career. I think he was like, yeah, he was just like his whole like, I don't know, his whole like use of space and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. It's cool. It's inspiring. You know, I like Patrice O'Neill too, but like he's like, but some of his shit, some of the stuff he says is kind of out of pocket. But I
100%. And I think
most of it.
I always, I have some, I love Patrice too. And I think he knew that his life was ending early. So he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say what I want.
Yeah, but no.
But Bill Hicks is the same. I feel like that makes sense that you watch it for performance. Because I was going to ask like about your like you guys performing too. Because that's like a whole other like show, you know, it's not just like a band performing.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't really a question. That was my fault. No, but like, how do you guys like prepare for a performance, or do you think about what you're doing, or like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I hope people pause the podcast, go watch a performance, and then come back.
I don't know. I mean, it's like another one of those things where you kind of are like mindless. You know, like
Yeah.
I think that's like the only time I'm mindless. You know, like
Yeah, I call it getting in the flow state.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
yeah. It's hard. I know we like circle up before and like
Yeah.
have a pep talk and then just go do it. You know?
Yeah, but you're like, you guys are very performative.
Yeah.
Like at Solid Sound, like you know, like you staring into the the crowd, or like the hand moves, specific like hand movements, or even you shaking your head every like in between, like I forget what song it was while you were playing drums.
Like none of it is like thought about before.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like it just kind of like happens. You know, like it's nothing like I'm not like looking in the mirror, staring at myself distantly, or you know, like or like whatever, doing like hand movements or whatever. It's kind of just
Yeah. I think it's like an energy vibe.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of
like
hard to think about. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. If you think about it too much, then it doesn't. I don't know. Just something that feels natural, you know, and like you can kind of try on stage. Like you can kind of try stuff, you know,
Yeah.
subject people to like getting stared at and stuff, you know, because they're watching you.
But like I don't know, I'm always like I admire people that like have a really natural, like, you know, it's like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like I can't like get into when there's like a bunch of dancing and shit, but like some people are like really charismatic and like really good at that, and it seems natural, you know, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that, but I can't. You know, like not because like I'm sure if I like did all that shit in the mirror for like a long time, maybe, but you know, that's like not natural for me. It seems so natural for them, and I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I just can't, you know? It just ends up being what it is, you know?
Well, you were saying you were talking about the space of like Bill Hicks using, so I wasn't sure if like you were thinking about the space you were using on stage as.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think like if you watch, I mean, it's amazing that YouTube has all this shit. But like if you watch, like I think it's called Relentless or something like that. It's like a performance of his from like, I don't know, like same towards the end of his life, and like I don't know. Yeah, he'll just go from like like silence, you know what I mean, to like complete like annihilating the speakers with like his voice, you know, like just like I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're like, damn, that has a lot of energy to it, you know, even in this like even in the space, and then all of a sudden he'll like just like scream at the audience. It's like, and it's like, dude, that's I don't know, you know, I feel like a lot of it has to do with energy, with the kind of energy that you are feeling put behind your performance. You know, that part is inspiring to me.
Yeah, because I look at that the same way you were talking about, like looking at people dancing on stage is like I look at that and I like to tell stories. That's my style, and I wish I could do that, but also it's not my. You can't like be something you're not. You know what I mean? Especially when creating.
Totally. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't know if you had any other thoughts on that.
No, I mean, like that's right. Like it's like you have to be yourself, and like you can admire someone else for like their energy and their
hmm
ability to like entertain, but then it's like the way you do it is the way you do it, and that'll like attract certain people or turn away certain people. You know, like some
Yeah.
people like a lot of movement or whatever, and it's like it's not natural for me. Whatever, like I just end up doing whatever happens. You know.
Do you guys get nervous before like the performances opening up for Wilco and stuff? Like, what
Um,
does your mindset go like beforehand?
I mean, I felt like slightly nervous at Solid Sound because that was like our first festival we've ever done. Um, but we haven't like done any of the opening slots yet with Wilco, and I imagine I'll feel nervous.
Yeah.
No, I mean, how do you feel right now about it? Like, what is your like? Are you thinking about it, or are you just like, nah, I'll figure that out day of?
Really
Yeah.
thinking about it for sure. Definitely figuring it out and yeah, making it work because I tour and I'm in another band and we're touring like up until we need to play the shows. So like
It's gonna be like insane.
yeah, we have like a lot of
It's gonna be
logistical
psycho.
things to do for it, and like yeah, it's definitely something that we're thinking about every moment of every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're
No.
talking about like the energy put forth, and I love your music, but like, do you think about how your music comes across to their fans, or are you just like, no, I'm going to put my energy forth and hopefully they enjoy that?
I think it's a combination of both, but like it's definitely like it is, you know, like it is what it is. Like we're gonna play what we're gonna play, and like I'm sure like it won't be for everybody, and that's totally fine. But like I think we're definitely not gonna play some songs and add songs that might suit it better, you know. But like at the same time, we're still gonna be ourselves and like do
Yeah.
the same amount of energy and
The reason I ask, and of course I love Wilco, but I go to that festival because it's like a thing I can do with my mom every year because she loves Wilco. Like, as I don't know if you guys look, this is like a rap podcast where I've had Future Islands on. I had Julia from Chastity Belt. Like I like who I like, but that's why I loved you guys' performances because it was so different. And so like now I listen to your music a lot more than Wilco, like, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm asking about like, oh, are you like the energy you guys are putting forth for that audience? Because I don't know, I like your music because it reminds me of like a rap beat, like the rhythmic version of it, like that's what I connect to.
Cool.
yeah, I mean like definitely gonna like keep the same energy. If I think that's what you're asking, right?
Yeah. Like,
Like
yeah, you're not trying to like change up to fit like a certain, you
no,
know, a certain style.
no. I think it would be hard for us to do that in
Yeah.
general. Like
Yeah.
it like again like it's kind of like the same thing of like you can't like curate yourself easily. Maybe
Mhm.
like or whatever. It's hard. Like the energy level is gonna be where it's at, and if it was lower or higher, it wouldn't be like because of curation. It would just be because of
How you feel?
how it is,
Yeah.
you know, and like it's
Yeah.
hard to like purposely frame something because of the situation, I guess. Like we kind of have the same energy no matter what.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Dude, that makes me feel so good to hear because like I am who I am as a comedian, like the jokes I tell. And then like I'll get upset maybe if I get booked for a show that's completely different than because there's not really genres in comedy. Like they don't have it the same way. Like there is, but it's not looked at the same way. And I'm like, oh, I didn't that wasn't my genre though. It's like having someone opening up for a completely different thing, and I shouldn't have to change myself. And it's good to hear because it's like I'll be mad at myself where it's like, oh damn, I don't have more like easy fun jokes, you know, like all my stuff is like comes from like personal stories or trauma or something, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can't change yourself. And yeah, especially if you're coming from a standpoint of like personal experience and like trauma or whatever, like you can't like change your story or you can't
Yeah.
change your like the way that you think about it and feel about those things, you know.
Where did the ideas from the songs come on then? Like they're not from personal stories. Oh, sorry. Do you need to?
Oh, sorry, we're just trying to get the dog back
Oh,
in. She's been out for a while.
no problem. And I hope you don't mind that it's thunder and lightning right now. I keep hearing thunder outside my window.
No, I can hear it. Um, no, that's like another thing is like none of the songs are like about anything. Like it just like I guess that's maybe like a part of embodying somebody else is that like you don't have like a frame of that experience. I don't know, like
The songs aren't about anything. That's funny to like, you know, like
yeah, like maybe every once in a while they're about something, but it's like also not like the lyrics aren't directly about it, or it's like you might be like thinking about something while you're writing it, but it's not about that, like the lyrically
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like none of the songs are about anything lyrically, I guess, but
You're not like sitting down like I'm gonna write
about this
lyrics
thing.
about like whatever.
do you sit down and write your lyrics like pen to pad?
Sometimes, I mean, I think it just depends. Like, there's like one song, like the last song on the record. Um, we made it and like we were like we like finished the record and we're like, oh, we need one more song. We need one more song.
Yeah.
This isn't done. But we only had one day left in the studio. We're like, I think we had 30 minutes to record it. So I just like wrote them like it was like an idea that we had maybe scrapped and
We like recorded the guitar part like loosely, and then we like forgot about it or something.
yeah, and then I did a piano thing, and then I was like, all right, I gotta make lyrics right now. I just made them really quick, you know, and
Yeah.
on the record. So it can either be like that, where it's like whatever.
Do you have like
Whatever
so
came
there
to my
wasn't like a
head in
concept,
that.
like you don't have like a concept for the album like going into it, like this is what this is gonna be.
I don't think so. I think like I guess like the sound kind of like presented itself
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to us, if that makes sense. Like
In the absence of drums.
yeah, well, like we were like recording all the songs and like putting them together, and then it was like, oh, these all sound similar. Like they have like a similar vibe, which like wasn't like a conscious thing when we were writing it.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like every time we make music, or all the albums or things that we like. I mean, we basically have 2 albums, but like even with the last album, like it feels like the last album and then this one, like it feels like a like each time it's like kind of a reflection of like where we're at in our lives, and like where like the kind of music that we're listening to, and like the kind of shit we're stoked on, so it's not like, oh, we're gonna make this concept album necessarily. It just ends up being a concept based on like whatever's happening in in the world or in our lives or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think like because our friend like Tim Presley produced it, and I think like having his kind of shimmer on everything definitely like pulled everything together.
His secret sauce.
Yeah, his secret sauce all over it. So I think that definitely like tied everything together and made it like even more playful or whatever. Like he's really good at like kind of finding everything that was like what like, we've been missing, you know, like within like the recordings, like he's like heard exactly what was supposed to happen, you know. So it was like really nice to have him like part of the process, you know.
Yeah, what's the difference between making making a first album versus making a second album? Today's episode is sponsored by Om with Emily. Emily is a meditation and yoga teacher as well as an astrology and tarot reader. She uses yoga and spirituality to help others reconnect with their true self. She offers in-person and virtual one-on-one sessions for all experience levels. Find her online at omwithemily.com. That's OM-WITH-EMILY.com, or on IG at om.with.emily. DM her on IG and mention Bucked Up and she'll send you a free guided meditation. That's right, mention Bucked Up and she'll send you a free guided meditation. You can find her on IG at om.with.emily. Let's get back into it.
Sorry, she's such a freak.
Oh, no problem.
What was the question?
What's the difference between making a first album versus making a second album?
I definitely feel like Good Boy was like more juvenile and like stark sounding. Like it didn't have as many layers or like a bass. Which is like cool, like it's just different and like it definitely, I mean, we were like, I mean, how old were we? We were like writing that, like 19, 20?
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We're probably like,
because we like wrote a lot of those songs like a while before we recorded them, and so, and so like we're like 19, 20 when we recorded them, and like 25 now. So like it was like a long time ago. So it definitely feels like juvenile and stark and like kind of like still figuring it out. And like not that we have anything figured out with Mint Chip, but I think definitely like more experience musically, like between different bands that we're in, and like just kind of like growing up, like you kind of get to like have a different experience with like a second record and kind of take like notes from like maybe things that you would have done differently from the first one and like adjust that to how whatever like you feel like it should be.
I would agree with all that. I think like just two different things, two different sounds, and two different settings, and both good, but both different. I definitely feel like from then till now, I feel like we've advanced a little bit musically. Like I think we've just, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like our I don't know. It like the writing feels like it gets more. I guess I shouldn't say advanced, but it just keeps moving. You know what I mean? Like it goes in. It's in a slightly different direction now, but it's not like it's like we've changed our whole thing or something.
Well, I think you mean advanced in the way of like we've learned more about like music itself and like technically, not like we're advanced, not like that, but like it's like from like musical experience playing with other people and like taking like information from like the last time we recorded, like we've learned more about music and advanced in that way.
Yeah.
But like
progressed.
Yeah, progressed.
Yeah, because I feel like you could either be like, oh, something my dad used to tell me, and my dad's a musician, but it's like you have your whole life to make your first album, and then you have like 2 years to make your second.
Yeah, which is true. Like we definitely did
But
that.
you probably learn so much in those 2 years exponentially about making, because you have to release something to know how to do it afterwards, you know?
Right. Well, also it's just like crazy how time works. It's like you think that like whatever, like 5 years, like you're like, oh my god, you can like become a completely like not different person, but you just like have so much more knowledge and like life experience. And like, I mean, it hasn't been 5 years. It's been 5 years since we like started writing Good Boy, right? Or like maybe 4 years or something.
Yeah.
So like,
totally.
You just learn so much more in general about like the way that the world works, and like, you know, like where you feel more prepared to like make a second record. And like something I was thinking about it, but I can't remember.
No, I feel that way too, because like I'm 25 now too, and you're like, oh shit, when I started this, I really had no idea other than just kind of like a blind faith that it would work out, hopefully. You know, like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I just hoped that it did. And now it's not even, this is gonna sound like a bad word, but I'm trying to use it in a right way, is like jaded, where you're like, oh, now I know so much, and the more I realize, the more I realize I know nothing. Like the more I know, the more it's like, oh shit, the room just keeps opening and opening up bigger and bigger in front of you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, right. And you could, I think, like that's the point where you could argue like better versus worse might not be that, you know what I mean? Like you might not necessarily be better where you're at, you know, as time goes on, but it's a progression, you know. It's definitely, I mean, I'd like to think better, but like, you know, maybe it's not necessarily. It's just, you know, it's different. It's progress. Yeah, you know.
When you guys met, did you think you'd be still playing together?
I mean, we're like children, so I think we're just kind of like,
yeah.
When are we gonna hang out next? You know, like we had like a big.
When did you start seriously playing with each other then? When you're like,
oh, like in what, junior, senior year of high school?
Yeah, we did. We went to like a performing arts high school too, and so we were like in music class together like every day, you know.
Yeah, so we've been like like I don't know, not seriously, but like we were doing music stuff together like almost like every day for like what, like years.
Years, yeah.
So like it was just kind of a thing of like we were like, it was like we're seniors in high school or something. I think that's when we like started the band. But like, yeah, I mean, he like joined a different band and they were like doing stuff for like a year, and then he went to college and I had stayed in, you know, San Francisco. So it was like, we always kind of knew that we like wanted to keep it going, but it was just, like, again, like a matter of like conflicts of like whatever schedule conflicts. Like, so yeah.
I feel like throughout it all, we've never been like, oh, you know, the future of the band or this. It's always been like,
keep going.
Yeah, it's always just been like, well, yeah, when can we like play another show or something, you know, or like, oh, we got this show coming up, we should write a new song before it happens, you know. And that's like how we made Good Boy too.
Yeah, working with pressure, or working under pressure, you know.
Yeah, like I always write my best jokes like sitting in the green room before a show, and I'm like, motherfucker, why can't I do it like when I'm watching Netflix at home? Like I should be working hard then.
Yeah, we were telling like our label, they were kind of like lax with us because of the pandemic. I mean, I feel like they would have been anyways, but like about like a timeline when we would start recording, because we were like demoing a bunch of stuff, and we're like, please tell us that we need to go into the studio now, because like we need to like write some more songs, and we can't without the pressure, you know?
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I was like, I need a manager to tell me what to do because I'll just
Yeah.
like lay in bed and play video games all day. Like, because if I'm on the road, I'll be busy. But if not, I'll just smoke some weed and chill, watch some Netflix, relax.
Yeah.
I want to go back to you saying drums are too loud.
I mean, like,
Aren't you a drummer? And you're the other? Are you talking about with Kate? Like, aren't you the drummer?
yeah, totally. I mean, like, I play like with like headphones with Kate, and
Mhm.
now like I'm so used to like hearing drums through headphones. I'm like, that's so much nicer, like because like it's like so dead. I think I just really like dead sounding drums, and then once I take the headphones off, I'm like, oh my god, it's so loud. Like I forget how loud it is, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a part of the writing process at all, but like it's just personal preference. I wish drums were quieter.
I
There's
think about how my ears are gonna be fucked if I'm 25 right now.
well,
Yeah.
I'm like I'm so scared of losing my hearing, and like when we were like practicing for Kate stuff, and when we're practicing for like our band, like I feel so bad the second I take my headphones off and I'm playing drums. I'm like, this is how loud these things are. Are you kidding me? Like I feel bad for everybody.
Yeah, I feel like I have a little bit of like tinnitus right now, like just a smidge, and I'm like, no, 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 I need to stop this.
Yeah. I've been trying to turn my guitar amp down a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, definitely, yeah. I don't know. 65 watts is like too much.
Oh, 100% too much.
It's like,
Way too much.
Yeah.
Not ever, like never necessary.
yeah. I mean, it's awesome, dude. Like, if you have stacks of like, Marshalls or like, Fender Twins or something, like,
What a
dude,
Fender Twins stack.
yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do
Outrageous.
one day is stack like 4 twins on top of it.
Yeah.
Turn them all up. Yeah.
Like
No.
blow people away.
Yeah.
Not
Dude, I mean that, that stuff, like, I mean, that's an awesome feeling, but it's a terrible sound, like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it's an awesome sound too, but like, yeah, I don't know, but there's no way you're gonna like listen to that, like, standing like even 20 feet away.
Oh my god. Yeah, I went on like a tour with this rap group Griselda, and like it's just no one in rap thinks about, they just want to be as loud and like have the bass as loud, and then like after that tour it's like, oh shit, that was like a bunch of dates in a row with me standing on stage with this fucking booming all the time.
Right.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
you don't
How
really like know how loud it is until you like wear earplugs consistently and you're like, oh my god, wow.
Right.
how long have you been done with the album? Mint Chip? Is that the Mint Chip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a year.
That's crazy.
It's because of like COVID production time. Like it took so long to get test pressings and the physical vinyl. Like we got the physical vinyl like in April, and we thought we'd get it in May.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like crazy because of COVID stuff. Like
So you guys probably feel like, I don't know, but like talk about like growth exponentially better now than when like you recorded that album, probably.
Guess so.
don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know. I mean, when we recorded the album, like, still nothing was really happening. Like, no shows were happening or anything. So as things have just opened up, like, I think I guess it kind of feels exponential because it feels like exponentially everything has, like, the number of shows that have been happening feels like it's been exponential.
Right. yeah.
And have
like,
you been recording more music?
Not yet. No, we haven't. We're gonna take some time off to write soon.
Yeah.
We don't have anything ready to go.
Yeah.
So you just kind of after that you were like, just let's take a break and work with your other bands.
Yeah, I don't think like on purpose. I think like just scheduling wise, it worked out like that. Where like we haven't had time to write more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we've been doing a lot of stuff with like the release, you know.
Yeah,
Um, and so a lot of this is like super hands on for us, or at least it feels that way. And and yeah, and right, same. We don't have a manager or anything too, so we are like, basically like booking, or well, we have an awesome booking agent, but we're like dealing with like the logistics of stuff ourselves. And actually, when I say we, it's really Dylan
yeah.
mostly.
Like,
Are
But
you good at booking? Are you good at scheduling? I mean, because I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I'll be like, I have to be in Maine one day, and then I have to be like in Chicago the next, and then I'll be in Buffalo after that.
and,
yeah,
like,
Dylan's good
let's
at that.
do it.
But so like, so that's been a lot. And then, I mean, yeah, really, I think like, yeah, we just kind of and have been busy. And then, I think really like we're kind of planning on writing again in the fall, and so then we'll probably record after that at some point.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So you'd like, do you kind of like wait for the idea can to fill back up before you?
I think it's just like a time thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And do you do all your videos on your own then? Like, do you plan those out?
I did one of them. Like, I made one of them, and then um, yeah, we just like worked with this guy Owen Summers and then John Andrews, and they made videos with us.
Yeah, which are all those guys rule. Oh, and
Yeah,
some.
I love the videos. And that's why it's funny when you're like, these songs are about, like, I didn't know if it was like a whole thing, like, oh, you had the idea for the videos when you made the songs, but they just like took it and ran with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. We didn't really have a ton of ideas. Um,
Yeah, it was cool. I feel like we picked like good people, like good artists to work with, because they kind of like we the most we ever told them is if like we really didn't want to do something, but I feel like they kind of like everyone who did our videos.
we didn't even have to really.
Yeah, we
that.
didn't have to say. Yeah, it was kind of like a mutual, like they get it,
Yeah.
And then the one that we made, I mean, yeah, we just made that, and Dylan edited the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, the hit video was the homegrown style.
What do you guys like? What's your, so you just kind of, you don't have like a plan for the future. You're just kind of going with what's working.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess just kind of like seeing how it goes. I mean, we want to do as much as possible, but yeah,
Yeah,
just kind of seeing how it goes.
yeah. Planning on trying to get touring, especially off of this album.
Yeah.
And we'll probably make another one and try to tour off of that. I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then whatever else along the way.
Do you, I like that. Like it's, as I said, I'm so over analytical. So I'm like, oh, I just have so many, I like hearing that it's just, you go with the flow. I feel like that. And of course that's not diminishing any of the hard work or anything, but it's nice because it's like, that's probably why it works. You guys have been together since a young age, just being wanting to like hang out, and now you're still doing it. You're like, hopefully we can tour and hang out and just
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely, I will say, like it's not all obviously the most casual thing to like. We definitely like put in, it feels like a lot of work and like thought and effort into like making this all happen. But it's definitely like, yeah, it's definitely something like we want to do. And so I don't know. Yeah, it feels like it gives back in a way. So whatever we can do to keep it going, it seems like it'll just keep giving back.
When are your next shows?
The Wilco one's like It's like the
In New York.
21st, 23rd, 24th. It's like upstate New York for 2, in like Cooperstown and can't remember the other place, and then Vermont, and then we're playing.
Yeah, I'll be in Vermont that week, so I'll be at that show.
Cool.
And then playing in Boston on the 25th, Chicago on the 28th, and then we have like a West Coast tour starting September 1st.
Oh wait, where are you playing the 25th in Boston?
The Lily Pad.
Oh, duh. I was talking. I don't know who I was DMing with, but I did comedy at the Lily Pad in Boston, so I'll definitely come out to that one too. That's a great venue.
Yeah,
We're
excited.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
That's awesome, though. That's wicked cool that you guys get to do that, and hopefully get more shows. And yeah, but the Lily Pad's awesome. I'll definitely be at that one, and I'll see you guys in Vermont.
Yeah, you say wicked all the time. Are you
I
from?
do say wicked. That's the Boston thing.
Yeah. Are you from Massachusetts?
Yeah, I grew up on all over. Like, you ever been to Cape Cod?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was born on Cape Cod, so I lived there, and then I just moved all around.
Sick, dude. Awesome.
You guys were San Fran? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is that where you are now? Where you living now? Or are you still in LA?
No, we're in LA now. Yeah.
You like it? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go?
No, I like it. Yeah, I think we both really
I
like
think
it
we're
here.
trying to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like LA so much more than New York. Like I'm not a New York City person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of half and half.
Respect,
You know,
like
respect
New
to
York,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's disrespect. I'll diss the whole city. No, I'm just kidding.
Love New York friends out there and everything, but I think LA just feels more right.
It's chill. I like it just like I like having my car. I don't like being on top of everyone. Like it's just chill. I like LA.
I think we might have to wrap it up because we're supposed to have another interview at 11.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. I was just wrapping it up too, but thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for having
Dude,
us.
thank
We're
you.
stoked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys hopefully at the Lily Pad, and if I run into you guys in Vermont.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah,
Hell
totally.
yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a
Cool.
good one, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Dude, talk soon. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.